with what you've got going on.
Right.
It's, I mean, one of the things that you're really expressing is that it's really difficult to find a way to make the time to do a little bit of exercise.
Right.
Or to get to the store to buy healthier
Mm-hmm.
foods. So on the one hand, you've got those dilemmas, and on the other hand, you really don't want to get to the point where you're on medication. You don't want
No.
it to get to the point where it's
I
so
really,
bad, and
I
it's starting
really
to head
don't.
that,
Yeah.
kind of head that direction. What do you think?
Yeah. Um, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if you can help me with maybe looking at some meals or something,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
it probably wouldn't hurt for my kids too. One of my kids is really heavy too, and
Oh,
the
which
older
one?
girl, is, and
Okay,
she just
okay.
kind of going into teenager. You know how difficult that is, and
Got it.
um,
Yeah.
so maybe we can just try it together. And I don't know. My husband's real resistant to any kind of diet.
Sure.
We're Italian, and he's really into his
Yeah.
pasta and his meat and everything else here. So that's going to be hard to do that. But I don't know. Maybe during the day, I
Maybe
can.
during the day.
Yeah. If you.
Well, and
Yeah.
you're describing already that, your lunch is pretty good. You
Yeah.
usually are doing something really healthy for lunch.
Mhm.
Maybe doing something different for breakfast might make a difference instead of the donut. Having
Yeah.
how do you feel about that, though?
Well,
Where do you get
yeah,
your donuts? Tell me, give it up. Where do you get your
oh,
donuts?
it's on the
'Cause
way to where I clerk. There's this little donut and coffee shop, and I kind of go through and
I
get my
know the one.
latte and my donuts.
I know the one you're talking about. They're delicious, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're really,
I
really
like the real
good.
fried ones, but
Yep, the deep
okay.
fried. Yeah,
Yeah, I know
excellent.
I shouldn't have them.
They're really tasty, aren't they?
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
really hard to give those up.
Yeah, it is.
But that would be one way to make a change if you felt like you were ready for it. But you have to be the one who's ready for it. And that's
Yeah.
the thing we're talking
Well,
about.
I don't
today,
want to
is
go
you
on
making-
medication. I really don't.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe getting up a little bit earlier or something, and maybe having some cereal or something in the morning before I get the kids out the door. I mean, the kids
I see.
eat before they leave. I just
Mhm.
don't. I'm running around doing all other kind of stuff. So.
Mhm, mhm. Well, we have a list of some healthy foods, healthy food choices for different meals.
Okay.
That might be worth looking at or considering.
Okay.
And you can look at these if you'd
All
like
right.
to. And it sounds like you really have made some decisions today about making a shift in how you relate to your food.
Well,
And
we'll try, but I don't want to give up those French fries.
the French fries are going to be harder. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And you made an excellent point earlier where you say I eat too many of them.
I do.
So maybe if you said, okay, I'll have one order of French fries so many times a week versus too many French fries every night that I
Yeah,
work, or
yeah.
I don't know, a way to modify that, a way that you don't have to give them up completely.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I don't know if you
Yeah.
feel convinced yet though about that. Those are going to be
Mhm.
hard, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Well, change is incremental. Change happens a little bit at a time, and you've already made a change
Mhm.
about your lunch. You're doing something different about that.
Yeah.
And you're starting to look really hard at your breakfast, and then maybe that's another piece to talk about.
Okay.
The French fries.
All
Okay.
right.
Got it.
All right. I'll try.
Well, cool.
See.
Well, thanks for coming in today.
Okay.
And I'm glad we had a chance to have this conversation. And what I believe in is collaboration. So this is all about what you want to make change in your life.
Okay.
Just giving you some information and helping you through having a conversation about what's really important to you.
Well, I'll take your list, and next time I go to the store, see if I can get some of the items and maybe stock up on them, and
Super. Really
we'll,
good.
We'll go from there.
Good work.
Okay.
Really good work. All right. Nice
Thank
to
you.
see you today.
Yep.
All right. So let's take a look at the conversation that we just had. What I'm going to do is highlight different places that I might have developed discrepancy. One is that Jean talked about her relationship with her doctor and how he was concerned. She wasn't so concerned, but he was concerned.
Yeah, my doctor spoke to me about that, and yeah, he said I need to look at my diet and a little
Uh-huh.
bit changing it, and probably adding more of an exercise routine. But I work at night as a waitress.
One area that we could have developed was the discrepancy between his opinion and her opinion. We didn't go with that. We could have talked about her family because she talked about the family history. That's another area of discrepancy. Did she have concern about her family? She did start to verbalize some concern specifically about her uncle.
Yeah, it was the fear of not going the medication, and we have also history in our family with strokes and stuff.
Oh,
so,
do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Who in your family's had a stroke?
My uncle has a stroke on my
Oh,
dad's side.
I'm sorry to hear that. Another area that we might have developed discrepancy was with her daughter, who she said was overweight, and she had concerns. So you see there were multiple different ways to develop the discrepancy. I went with medication because it seemed like that's where a lot of her affect was, and she made that point again and again and again.
Well, I don't want to go on medication. I really don't.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe getting up a little bit earlier or something, and maybe having some cereal or something in the morning before I get the kids out the door. I mean, the kids
I see.
eat before they leave. I just don't. I'm running around doing all other kind of stuff. So.
Well, we have a list of some healthy foods, healthy food choices for different meals. Usually, when people are in the midst of ambivalence, they're practically shouting at you what their concern is. And so when we went with the medication, she was really sold on that idea. Hi, I'm Mike Srtatton, and I'm here with the Wise Woman program, and we're going to be talking today about motivational interviewing. A couple of points that I want to make about motivational interviewing is that when you are doing this, you're actually thinking about the stages of change that your client, your customer is in. So are they in pre-contemplation? Are they not even thinking they need to make a change? Are they beginning to think that they need a change in contemplation? Have they made a decision to make a change? Are they in the action stage of actually making the change? Or they're in maintenance, where they've made the change. There are 5 techniques that go along with motivational interviewing. Today we're going to talk specifically about developing discrepancy, but they don't take place individually. They take place usually throughout the conversation. So the techniques are expressing empathy, rolling with resistance, avoiding argumentation, developing discrepancy, and supporting self-efficacy. Today we're going to be speaking specifically about developing discrepancy. Discrepancy is when someone has something that's inconsistent in their life. For instance, they really want to be healthy, but they really don't want to change their behaviors. And so highlighting both sides of that helps put the client in touch with their own ambivalence, their own mixed feelings about making a change. Then you can weave in the other skills. You can empathize with that. You can help them see if they're ready to move towards making a change at that point or not. If they start to resist, you go back to empathy. You avoid argumentation, you roll with their resistance. And then maybe they're ready for a little more discrepancy. But it's their challenge, and you have to make that point. It's not your challenge against them. It's not a tug of war. It's their challenge to face themselves. You're just helping to create a context for them to explore that. Let's take a look. So, Jean, thanks for coming in today. I'm happy you're here.
I'm happy I'm here too.
Yeah, are you?
Well, no, not really.
I didn't think
Yeah.
you would be. Usually people aren't real thrilled to come in and have these kind of conversations. That's understandable. But we're going to be talking about your health today. And I don't know, how do you feel about your health? How's it going for you?
I feel great. I'm
Great.
feeling really good, and I have no concerns or anything.
Okay.
No.
So what we're going to do is run over a few different things here that we've noticed. That your blood pressure is a little high. Did you notice that? It's 140 over 98. So
Yeah.
you're just moving from the.
Yeah.
You see that red?
It runs
Slightly
that, but
high.
I was really running late into the doctor's office that day, so that may have made it a little bit higher.
You might have been just really excited or
Yeah.
upset.
Yeah.
And your cholesterol is also high, and it's moving from up here
245.
245, yeah. And that's just getting into the high range. Did you notice that?
Yeah, my doctor spoke to me about that, and he said I need to look at my diet and a little bit, changing it, and probably adding more of an exercise routine. But I work at night as a waitress,